Hi. Okay, the sun went down, so I can actually be outside now. It was 95. It was so hot. I retreated into the store's resort area where it was air conditioned. Um, yes, I'm glad that I got a camp host position because that means that I've been paying $8 a day for my campsite here. So that's going to say 8 times 3 is 240. So it's going to save me $240 a month for I'll have a place to park my van and I'll have a flush toilet and a sink that has water. But that doesn't include food, or it doesn't include the van payment as my big expense right now, which is $300 a week. So with my income being $1,100 a month, right now that rental van is more than my income per month. And so that loan that I took out to buy a van is dwindling quickly. And, it's like thing after thing after thing. Like I just get another email from my real estate agent, that there's another hold up with the closing. And this is nothing I can control. I'm completely powerless over it. But yeah, I'm just, I opened the email in the hotel lobby or whatever, wherever I was, and I had to come out here because I felt like I was just gonna cry and wail, and here's all these rich people coming to a resort, for their vacation, and I don't begrudge them, but on the other hand, I think about my life. I worked really hard to put myself through college to become a teacher. I worked hard as a teacher. I tried. I had a retirement. I don't know. I'm just feeling really sad right now, and I'm really afraid because, tomorrow I'm going to be driving 50 miles out into the desert. There's no electricity there. There's no cell phone service. There's no internet service. I had to pay $10 for 24 hours of internet just so that I could get online and order some stuff from Amazon. They did give me a P.O. box, so that's great because I can order from Amazon and have things shipped here. Yesterday, so my glasses were 3 years old and they were all scratched up and I couldn't see out of them. So I couldn't get an appointment anywhere in Pahrump, which is an hour from here. So yesterday I had to drive all the way to Las Vegas to get an eye appointment. And I paid $200 for an eye appointment because I don't have any eye insurance with Medicare. And I got one pair of contacts, which I'm wearing now, and a prescription for contacts and a prescription for glasses, which I still have to buy. Plus I had to pay all the gas to get there and back. And it was horrible. I mean, I went to Sprouts while I was there to get some supplements. And I was so exhausted when I got back. I was delirious driving back. I was praying, God, please let me make it back, because that's really a lot for me to do. Drive. It was 2 hours there and 2 hours back, plus the time that I was in Vegas. And, I hadn't driven in a city like that in a long time. And so it was very overwhelming. And today I was really tired, and I opened all the windows and I parked in the shade, and I just laid in my van until the heat got too oppressive and I had to do something. So I drove down here. But I'm just overwhelmed tonight. And, I know all the people on Facebook are like, congratulations, thank you. And it's a step in the right direction for sure, right? But it also brings other problems. Most of the people who take that position, they live in RVs and they have solar. So they don't have to worry about the no electricity or, because there's a water and a sewer hookup up there. So I don't know. I mean, I might last 3 days, I don't know. I might end up, I don't know what's going to become of me, but the scary part is if that loan runs out before I get the money from my house, that means I'm going to have to turn in that rental van. And that means I'm going to be street homeless. And how am I going to do that when I can't walk very good, And where's my stuff going to be? And how am I going to survive? I mean, I already tried this, when I thought before I decided to keep the rental van, I was going to turn it in, and I looked for homeless shelters, and once I start telling them about my allergies, they don't even want me. They won't even take me because they're afraid that I will have anaphylaxis and I will die in their shelter. And I'm scared tonight. I'm really scared. And I've fought so hard to survive. I mean, some people, from your house, you're probably watching this video and you think, oh, it's a great adventure. It's not really. The truth is, it's not. I'm not, I didn't set out on an adventure, a fun adventure. I set out literally to just be in places where I could breathe, And it's sad. It's a sad state of affairs in the United States of America that these are the lengths that I had to go to, that the doctors always gaslighted me when it got to the point where I would have anaphylaxis and I would call 911 and they would come, and they would offer me, Ativan, I think it was, that they were offering me to calm me down because I was saying, I can't breathe. And they were gaslighting me and telling me that it was like a panic attack or an anxiety attack when it wasn't. I mean, my lips were swollen up. And the reason I'm making this video is I just saw a fellow mold avoider who's just like me. She was a professional. She went to college and it's the same thing. She's living she has an RV, but all these people out here struggling to survive, It's just overwhelming, And yes, I'm down here in the resort tonight and I paid $14 to take a shower. That's how much I paid just so that I can get clean. You know how I got clean last night? I'm going to tell you. I have a 3-quart pan and I balanced it on top of, I only have a 1-burner Coleman stove. I need a 2-burner Coleman stove because it's so windy here that the wind literally blows out that stove. But anyway, I balanced that 3-quart pan on a 1-burner Coleman stove, and I have a dish pan, and I poured the hot water in the dish pan. Then I poured 2 gallons of room temperature or whatever water into there, and then I have a 4-quart Pyrex pitcher, and I have a clothesline at my campsite, and I stood behind a towel and I poured water over myself and washed my hair and washed up the best that I could because I had to decontaminate after being in Vegas, and I didn't have the energy to come down here, and I didn't have $14, and I still don't know how I'm going to shower. I mean, there's a shower, I guess, at another resort that's up there, but that would be an 80-mile round trip. I would have to drive 40 miles there, pay $5 for the shower, and drive 40 miles back. So I'm going to order a USB rechargeable shower pump, what I did before, and I need some sort of privacy tent. I don't know. But it's very important that I shower on a daily basis because the toxins I don't even know if they're coming out of my body. I hope they are. But that's another thing, I only have 1 sheet, which I stole from the hotel. And the only reason I did that is because every time I buy sheets, they're so toxic, I end up throwing them away. I can't even get the chemicals out of them because they have to be soaked and washed and scrubbed and soaked and washed and scrubbed. And I just can't. I mean, my laundry situation right now consists of a dish pan, and I don't know, I'm just very overwhelmed, and I wanted to make a video and post it because once this internet thing runs out, I don't even know when I'm going to be able to get phone service or internet service again, and I'm afraid, so I'm asking you for prayers. And I'm asking you, if you're on Facebook with me, I'm asking you to share my spot fund because I'm just scared that I'm going to run out of money because it's getting really low. It's like really scary. Okay, some people are walking by. But you know what? It's just weird being in this place where there's so much opulence and so much wealth. I mean, this woman that was parked next to me was in a BMW SUV, and just, I paid $5 for a bag of ice. I haven't had ice for 2 days. I can't believe I forgot ice when I went to Las Vegas, where I could have got it for $1.75 a bag at a gas station. No, I forgot it, and I had to pay $5 for a bag of ice today. And I don't have any food that really needs ice. It's just that when it's 95, you really just need cold water and cold electrolytes in your body. I haven't been able to buy any type of protein, any type of meat or eggs, because I don't have a reliable source of ice here. What I really need is a solar panel with one of those coolers that runs on electricity that can be generated by a solar panel, but I can't. I don't have any money for that. I don't even have, I don't know. Okay. And so I was so thirsty, and I had to buy a cold water. Do you know how much it was for this water? Because it was cold? $3.95. Because this is a resort. This is where people who have money come, not homeless people like me, I know that God is with me, because he's been helping me and he's been sustaining me. And there was a miracle with the car this week. I know I'm talking really fast, and I'm jumping from subject to subject, but here's the miracle that happened with the van. I hit something, like not really hard. I just scraped, and there were paint scrapes on there. So the van had to be inspected at the 1 month mark. It had to be taken into an enterprise. And so I took it in. I was taking it in, and I was like freaking out. So I called her and I said, hey, I put a little scratch on the van. And she said, well, if it's less than 6 inches long, it might be just normal wear and tear. If it's more than that, then, you'll have to claim it on your insurance. And I have a $500 deductible. So I was like praying so hard. I was like, God, I need a miracle. And I happened to drive by a body shop. So I pulled in, and this guy walks out. His name's Tapper. He has it on his thing. I'm like, hey, Tapper, how you doing? And he's like, oh, good. How are you doing? And we just start shooting the breeze for a couple minutes, Asked him about his tattoos or whatever. I'm like, hey, I told him the situation, I'm like, can you help a girl out? So he looks at it. He's like, $50. So he buffed out all the paint scratches for $50, and then all that was underneath the paint was a little scratch in the bumper that was about this long. And so the adjuster guy at Enterprise was like, oh, don't worry about that. It's wear and tear. So I was like, thank you, Jesus, right? So then that hurdle goes by. Then they run my credit card, and it gets declined. And I was like, this is it. I'm going to be street homeless. This is it. They're going to be like, sorry, we can't give you the van. Take your stuff out. You're walking. You're street homeless in Pahrump, Nevada. But I was just like, Lord Jesus, I need your help, right? So this is what happened. I had made a payment. It didn't go through because of the app. I'm going to change credit card companies because their stupid app didn't go through. So I called the credit card company right there, and I was like, what's going on? My card got declined. I have the money in my other account, but they don't want that account. They don't want a debit. They want a credit card. So I'm arguing with them on the line. Long story short, I make another payment right there over the phone, and they say, but it won't post for 3 to 5 business days. And I was like, well, I need it now. Anyways, long story short, the Enterprise lady had mercy on me. And she allowed me to pay that month with my debit card. And I think my credit card I made 2 payments now, so hopefully it should be down low enough. I was over my limit. I'm so scared right now. And you know what? I know I shouldn't be, right? Because doubting is a sin, right? I need to trust God. And I just need to relax. I need to go swim in this pool, take a shower, and get a good night's sleep, because tomorrow I'm driving up there into the unknown, and I haven't been able to go to any meetings. That's been really hard for me. I think I'm going to try to go to one tonight, because when I buy this internet, you buy it for 24 hours. So I think after I take a shower, maybe I'll come right back to this bench here and put my headphones in and see if I can find a meeting to go to. But you guys, please pray for me. I'm scared. All the times that I've gone to bed at night and I've said, oh, Jesus, please just let me die in my sleep. This world is too toxic for me. This struggle's too much for me. Please just take me to heaven where I'll be safe. But then I always end my prayers with, but not my will, but yours be done, and I'm still here. So I don't know. I bought a notebook. When I'm up there, obviously, I'm not going to be able to talk to anybody except Jesus, which isn't new, because when I was in Montana, I was off the grid for 2 or 3 days at a time. Anyway, I bought this notebook, and I'm going to start writing. I'm going to write a book about this. I am. So please pray that I can do this, because this job is, I'm going to have to make rounds around the campground 3 times a day, and they tell you that you're going to walk 5 to 6 miles a day. Well, I can't walk 5 to 6 miles a day, so I'm going to be driving the van, But you know what? A thing happened today. Another camp host came by my camp, and I had made a mistake, and I needed to go pay for another day, and I was about to drive down. I said, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I thought it. He's like, oh, your thing's expired. And I said, I'll go pay. And he's like, no, I got it. He goes, you're part of the team now. And that really helped me, And so my boss's name is Gia. She's coming up Sunday to walk me through and to try to help me. And when I went to the visitor center today, to the main office, to get the letter so that I could get the post office box, the 2 guys at the office were like, oh my gosh, you're the woman that volunteered for Mesquite? And I said, yeah. And they shook my hand, and they said, thank you very much. We need help up there. It's way up there, and, there's a lot of campers up there, and we need someone up there with a radio in case somebody gets hurt, or, we need somebody to make sure that this is happening or that's happening. And I didn't understand half of what they said, but I was like, okay, So that actually made me feel good, because it made me feel like maybe I can actually do something. Maybe I can actually contribute, There was a church in Montana, and this is why, and I have to tell you this, right? I know this is long, but I don't care. So there are several people who are Christians who tell me, why don't you contact churches and ask them to help you? I'm going to tell you a couple stories about why, and I'm going to try to make them short. Number 1, the churches that I had actually attended in New York, churches where the people knew me, where I had tithed, where I had gone, they didn't help me. They didn't really believe me. Either that, or if they wanted to help me, they couldn't. What I was asking for from them was, when I was in New York, was, does anyone in the congregation have off-grid land that they can rent me? That's what I needed at the time, And nobody could help me. Nobody, because they said that if I were renting their off-grid land or staying on their off-grid land and I got hurt, I could sue them and take everything they had, and they weren't willing to take that chance. And this wasn't just one person. This was time after time. I'm going to say 5 or 6 people told me the similar thing. And it hurts because it's rejection, right? So it was okay, fine. When I went to Maryland to River Valley Ranch, this is what they said. What do you need? How can we help? Those are the magic words, people. If you're in ministry, don't just do stuff for people. Ask them, what do you need? How can we help? Because your time and energy and effort is going to be wasted. I'm going to give you an example. So the people at the ranch said, what do you need? How can we help? And I said, oh, I would love a baked potato. So they made me baked potatoes, and they brought them to me in my van. And that was amazing. That was what I needed. It didn't cost a lot of money. It didn't take a lot of time, I know I get on here and I talk about money, and I've asked for money, and I hate asking for money. I hate it, but I never asked any church for money. I didn't. And then this church in Montana that I attended a few times, I asked for help, and they did some things for me that were not helpful. And when I said, I'm sorry, I can't accept this food that I can't eat, because I can only eat like 4 foods, I have holes in my colon. I'm lucky I even have a colon. Anyway, and then they brought me some clothes and some blankets that smelled like fabric softener sheets, so that made me sicker, And then, like I said, I didn't ask them for anything. And then they sent me this text message with that scripture from Thessalonians saying that if you don't work, you shouldn't eat. And they offered to help me find a job. Well, you guys know I'm disabled. I can't just work anywhere, I'm grateful that I found something that I can do, When I was in my home, I could work from behind my computer screen. That's my goal. I want to do that again. If I get a van or an RV and a computer, I could do that again. I want to do that again. I want to do that more than anything. But I need a stable place to do it, And as many times as I keep thinking about a van, I know the real truth in my heart is it's going to be hard for me because, again, I'm not going to have a bathroom. So I know that the answer really is to get some kind of an RV and some kind of a vehicle that can pull an RV and a laptop and maybe, I forget what they call it. There's a kind of our internet now that you can get when you're a nomad. And then I would need all those things to be successful. Or a miracle of healing, or a miracle of somewhere to live that wasn't toxic. So, please, just pray for me and be grateful. Be grateful for whatever you have in your life. And if you're sick and you have MCS like me, I'm begging you to comment on this. If you're homeless like me, living in a van, I'm begging you to comment on this so that people will see. We need to unite. We need to educate people. We need to stop blaming the victims, It's not okay. It's not okay in America for people to be treated this way. It's not. It's just not okay. But you know what? Okay, I'm gonna go now, but thank you for watching. Thank you for educating. Check out Chemical Free Gal. She's a great resource. Read Eric Johnson's books, Brian Rosner's books. I'm pretty sure I have Lyme. You know what I mean? Like, the regular test came back, no, that I didn't have Lyme. But there's a deeper test that you can do that I can't afford. But I'm pretty sure I have Lyme. I mean, I grew up in New York. I ran around barefoot all the time. I was covered in bites all the time. I was always sick growing up. So I'm pretty sure that part of what's going on with me is I have latent Lyme disease. The mold made it worse. The fluoroquinolone antibiotics made it worse. The amalgam fillings made it worse. All of the things that I did to my body that were toxic made it worse. But I didn't know. But so this is your red flag, right? If you have amalgams and you have the money, get them taken out. Don't take a fluoroquinolone antibiotic. Don't cover your body in, Bath and Body Works lotion. Don't use dryer sheets. You know what I mean? Like, stop doing all those things that are toxic for the body, that kill cells in your body, because, yeah, I've struggled all my life and I've tried hard all my life, but this really could happen to anybody. And and it has. Look up Shemaine Nugent, Ted Nugent's wife. She got sick like this, but she's like a billionaire. So she did all this stuff to cure herself. And they literally tore down their house and built a new one. Not everybody can do that, But I can't afford to have all those treatments that she had. And well, I'm just going to thank you for listening because I feel very alone tonight. Last night I was able to call my friend on the phone because I was in Vegas and I had service, and that was very nice. But I'm going to go. I'm going to take a shower. I'm going to post this. I'm going to try to calm myself down. And I love you guys. I do. I really do love you, because part of me, when I do think about I could just end it now, there's a couple reasons why I can't. One is I don't think that suicide is ever God's will. I think that it's God who gives life and God who takes life away. But another one is, here I am encouraging you sick people to do something and to change leave your moldy house. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do. And there have been times when I have said, I wish I would have just stayed in my moldy house, I would be dead for sure by now, and I almost went back, and my friend talked me out of it. She's like, no way. If you go back there, that house will be your coffin. And I believe it. So anyway, I appreciate your prayers. I appreciate when you like these videos, when you share these videos, when you subscribe, all of that. It helps keep me going. The prayers, the money, all of it. It just helps keep me going. So thank you very much. And I don't know when I'll have service again, but I'll keep you updated. Okay, bye.